Out front now, Maria Shriver, New York Times bestselling author and journalist, of course, also one of the most well-known Catholics in America, and the niece of America's first Catholic president, John F. Kennedy. So, Maria, now here we are, the first American Pope. Did you ever think you would see this day?
Yes, I did. I hoped to see this day in my lifetime, and I'm so excited. I was born in Chicago 2 months after this Pope, so I'm thinking about, wow, this is somebody who was born, lived in the Windy City, spent time there, but is also a man of the world. Who knows about the world, lived obviously in Peru. I've been reading up on him just in the last couple of hours. People view him as open, humble, honest, trustworthy, direct. That's the kind of voice the church needs. It's the kind of voice the world needs. And I think this is great for America, but most important, I think it's great for the Catholic Church and great for the world.
It's pretty amazing to think that you were born just a couple of months apart in Chicago. You know, I mean, that is a stunning coincidence, a serendipity. I mean, what does this moment mean to you personally?
Well, I think it's exciting. I understand that this is somebody who believed in the reforms that Pope Francis was trying to bring about in the church. I'm a woman in the church, right? He's a former altar boy. I never grew up in a church that allowed girls to be altar boys. You now can see young women up on the altar. But I think we're in the midst of a changing church, and I think Pope Francis did a lot to address that, and I think war will be needed to address that if we want to fill the churches, not only in this country, but around the world. I think the Pope's voice is really important. We're in a spiritual crisis, I think, throughout the world. I think his voice will really help people look at people who are other in different ways. I think his voice will help us love people, recognize our shared humanity. I think it will be good, I hope, for women in the church, which has always been a dream of mine, that women are more elevated in the church. And this is somebody, as I said, born in Chicago in the 50s and spent a lot of time in this country and understands how so many parishes are run by women, or the volunteerism of women is super important in the church. The role of women is super important. The role of nuns, super important. And so I'm excited. I'm thrilled by this choice, and I think it's going to be exciting to see what he does with it.
Maria, we found one post from an X account posting under Prevost's name, and it shared an article with the headline, "J.D. Vance is wrong. Jesus doesn't ask us to rank our love for others." So what do you think that the new Pope means when you look at something like that for the direction of the church now?
Well, I think that tells us a lot, right? It tells that he's going to wade into issues, that his voice is going to not be a shy one, that he's going to be courageous, and he's going to remind us that Jesus didn't rank love, that Jesus was about loving everybody, whether, no matter your sexual orientation, no matter your gender, no matter where you came from, no matter your income. Jesus was about accepting people, forgiving people, loving people. And that's what the church taught me growing up, and I think should be teaching at this very moment. And I think the Pope Francis was excellent about always lifting us up. His voice always rose above the noise. And every time he spoke, it made me think, and I think it made others think. And it was always something that made you want to be better, made you want to step into your higher self. And I think we need that in our world now more than ever.
You know, sitting here today as he spoke and gave his blessing and then his address to the crowd, he seemed so thoughtful and gracious. You just felt it. And I wanted to play just one thing that he said in that address for you, Maria.
We have to seek together to be a missionary church, a church that builds bridges and dialogue, always ready to accept, like this great piazza with its arms. We have to show our charity, presence, and be in dialogue with love.
He talks about building bridges. He talks about dialogue. What do you hear?
I hear just that. I hear that we have to reach across the aisle, that we have to reach out to others. He talked about, Pope Francis talked about the church as a field hospital. He talks about it as a missionary, right? That we all have a mission, that we can all reach out. We have more in common than we have that divides us. But we need to reach out. We need to speak with love. We need to recognize that love is what will bring us together. And I think it's very important what he said. I think the world needs that kind of voice. When we hear other voices telling us it's all about division, it's about polarization, it's about that we don't have anything in common, I welcome this voice. I think the world needs it.
Maria Shriver, thank you so much.
Thank you. Nice to be with you.